Hi, and welcome to the 3 J's in That Guy's Kitchen. I'm Janie, and today I'm at Brooksby Farm, going to pick some fresh apples and fresh ingredients for today's episode. And I'm going to be picking apples for today's episode of Snack Attack. I can't wait. And I'm so excited to be picking all these fresh ingredients because I feel fresh ingredients make everything taste so much better. And I can't wait to start. Come on, let's go. It smells so good in here. I wish you were here with me. And right here is where they sort all the apples so I can try to find the perfect one to make our applesauce. So Josh, I'm making applesauce. What type of apples do you recommend?
Well, for applesauce, I'd go for a nice soft apple that has a nice sugar content, like the Macintosh over here. They can make a really good applesauce. And if you just want a snacking apple, I'd go with something like the Gala over here. But for baking, I'd go with the Cortlands because they're much larger and easier to cut, and they make good apple crisp or apple pie. And all the apples grown locally on our orchard, so just enjoy.
Thank you, that was great information. So I think I'm just gonna go with these. And that was an awesome trip to Brooksby, and I think I have all my information. And these apples are delicious. Now let's go make that applesauce. And don't forget the apple cider donuts and the amazing smell. Don't forget to come down to Brooksby. This place is awesome. And did you know Brooksby Farm makes their own honey, their own spices, their own sauces? And did you know honey is the only thing that doesn't go bad? And let me tell you about the show. The name came from my dad because my mom's name's Julie, my sister's name's Jada, and my name's Janie, and we're the 3 J's. And my dad's just that guy because his name's Rufus. And it also ties in with me and my friends who help me. There's 3 girls, Logan, Olivia, and I, and my friend Jared, and he's that guy. So we're 3 jazzy girls, and that guy Jared, and my family, who's my mom and my sister and I, and my dad, that's guy. So that's how I got the name of my show, and I love that name. Hi, and welcome to the 3 J's in That Guy's Kitchen. I'm your host, Janie Wilson, and on today's episode, we will be making tortellini soup. I chose soup for this recipe because it's fall and winter's right around the corner and it's always so cold, and a nice warm soup will just make you feel so much warmer. And with all the holidays coming, it's good to just take all your leftovers, throw it in a pot, and add how much you want of each ingredient, and you can turn up with a amazing soup. So let me tell you my ingredients. I have tortellini, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, beans, corn, some vegetable stock, salt and pepper, cheese, garlic, celery, and an onion. So right now I'm just going to chop up my celery and my onion. So I'm going to just take off the top and the bottom and cut them into edible sizes. And now that all my vegetables are cut up, it's time to put my onions, celery, and garlic in the pan. I already have oil heating up. And for my garlic, I love gadgets, and this is my garlic smasher. So right now I'm just going to take my garlic and smash it and put it in the pan. This thing is so easy. All you have to do is open it up, load it with the garlic. I'll try to fit all of it in. And then smash it down. You gotta use your muscles for this. Ooh, that smells so good already. So now I'm just going to put in my celery and onions. That sound is awesome. Now I'm just going to stir it all around. and let it just cook so that can be the base of flavor. Smells delicious. So now that my garlic and onions and celery are nice and soft, I'm just going to add in 3.5 cups of water with some vegetable stock. Just squeeze it out there. Just mix it around so that can start. And now I'm going to add in all of my ingredients, except the spinach, and you know why. So now I'm going to add in my carrots, my tomatoes, my beans, my corn, and some salt and pepper. This thing is so fun to use. And just some pepper. And stir this all around. So everything can get some covered with some water. Now I'm just going to turn down the heat a little and let it sit so all the flavors can come together. My carrots can become a little bit softer, and let it all cook. Now that my soup is simmering, what time is it? Snack Attack time! But for this episode of Snack Attack, I will be making applesauce. So I'm going to move my cutting board, and I already have some apples cut up. All you have to do for the applesauce is take all your chopped apples and make sure they're peeled, put them in a pot, and just add a little bit of water, just the tiniest amount. There. So now I'm going to put it on the stove and just let it cook. And with this tool, all you have to do is push right down on the apple. And with this, apples are so easy to just dip in caramel or peanut butter right after school. Quick and easy. So you guys want to just grab an apple and dip it in either caramel or peanut butter? I'll move it towards you guys. Do you guys like it? Mm-hmm. I like it with caramel. Mm-hmm. Really good. Now that my apples are soft, it's time to mash them. This is actually a really fun job. Now it's going to start looking like applesauce. Mash away. Oh, it smells so good. Now that my apples are applesauce consistency, you could just stop here and let it cool down. But for you cinnamon lovers, you can just add a little bit of cinnamon and continue mashing just to get it all in. I love the smell of cinnamon. Now I'm going to just stop and let it cool down. Let me go. I think the applesauce is done. Let me go put it into bowls.
I know what to do while we're waiting. Dance!
Now that I got us our applesauce and it's all done, let's try it. How was it?
Good.
And it was really easy and good to make after school and make ahead of time. Now it's time to make my bread because every delicious soup needs some delicious bread. So I already cut up some of my bread, and now I'm just going to cut up my basil and parsley. So with my basil, I'm just going to open it up and stack them on top of each other, a few pieces. Then I'm just going to roll up my basil, roll it up, and then cut it into strips, tucking my fingers, of course, into thin little slits. Now that I'm done cutting my basil, it's time to cut my parsley. So I'm just going to take off some of the leaves and just cut it up a little into little pieces. And get some more. And keep cutting it. Okay, so now that I just chopped them up just a little bit, I'm just going to add them into my oil. Add in both. They smell so good together. Let's add them all in. Mix it in a little. Now I'm going to add in some lemon zest. Just a little bit. I learned this recipe from the summer when I went down to Cape Cod. I just saw to mix together some ingredients, and this is what I came out with, and it tasted so good. So I'm just going to cut in half my lemon, put in a little bit of lemon juice. And another gadget, my lemon squeezer, so I don't get any seeds in. Just squeeze in a little. Add in some salt and pepper. And some pepper. Now I'm just going to add in some of my garlic powder. So it's like garlic bread, but better. And mix it all in. It smells really good. So now I'm just going to take my bread, spread them all out. I already sprayed it so it doesn't stick. Spread them out quickly. And now I'm just going to come around and dust each of them with the oil. Making sure it gets some herbs on there. Making sure all the bread has some of this deliciousness. Now that my soup is boiling, I'm going to add in some of my leftover basil and parsley. Right into the pot. Now I'm going to just add in my tortellini. Being careful that it doesn't splatter all over me, because that would be painful. Now I'm going to stir that in. Making sure all the tortellini gets covered so it can cook quicker. Now that the tortellini cooks quick, I'm just going to put in my spinach. Add it to the pot. Now I'm going to mix in my spinach. Now I'm just going to let my soup take its final minutes so the tortellini can get cooked in the soup and my spinach can get all the way nice and cooked. Now that my tortellini floated to the top, that means it's done. So I'm just going to give it a quick stir. And now I'm just going to put my wonderful bread in the oven. and put it on broil. Now that my soup is done and my bread is done, it's time to plate it. So right now, I'm just going to scoop some of my delicious smelling tortellini soup into this bowl with all the wonderful colors. Look at that. Now I'm just going to grate my cheese. Now I'm just going to grate some cheese on top. This looks like you could buy it in a restaurant. Now I already have my bread. Clean the plate. And you're done. It's really hot. Delicious. Now it's time to do my favorite part. Enjoy the meal with family and friends.
Turn the music up.